Hey, what's up YouTube? This is No Budget Duelist, and today I'm going to be bringing you my deck profile of my Evols. This is a basic Evol deck, this is a budget build, so it's not going to be super expensive. And right now, Photon Strike Bouncer is in the extra deck, but I'm just going to say goodbye, because he's not a budget card, it's $50 for one. We got 3 Evolsaur Ceratos, 3 Evolsaur Diplos, 3 Evolsaur Elias, and 1 Evolsaur Terius to go with it. 3 Evolsaur Volcano, 3 Evoltile Najashos, and 3 Evoltile Westlows. Now for the spells, we've got 1 Dark Hole, 3 Evo Diversity, 3 Evo Force, 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Monster Reborn, 2 Mystical Space Typhoons, derp, 1 Pot of Avarice, 2 Primordial Soups, 3 Fiendish Chains, a Solemn Judgment, 2 Solemn Warnings, and a Starlight Road. And now for the extra deck, I'm going to find another card to put in here later. We've got a Stardust Dragon for the Starlight Road that we got up here. Got 2 Evolzar Dolkas, 3 Evolzar Lagias, 2 Evolzar Soldas, 1 Inzektor Exabeetle, and 1 number 25 Force Focus for our generic rank 6s, 1 Maestro Symphony Jin, and 1 number 39 Utopia for our generic level 4s, then a Wind Up Zenmains for our level 3, and a Gacha Gantetsu for our level 2s. Now, I don't have a side deck for this deck, just because I'm not going to bother making a side deck for anything until next format, just because nobody knows what decks are going to be really good, or what they're going to hit, or anything like that. So, most people decide to run way less modules than this, and most people don't run the Elias and Terius. But I personally am a fan of Evolzar Solda. It's basically the deck's one saving grace against Inzectors, because it's a 2600 beater that can't be destroyed by card effects. So, yeah. And in my opinion, that's kind of good. The Evolstar Cerato is pretty self-explanatory. Everybody runs 3 of him. He's a 1900 beater, or when he's summoned by an Evoltile like Westlow, which is normally what you're going to be doing. He's a 21 beater that adds an Evoltile to your hand every time he destroys a monster by battle. As you can tell, this deck doesn't have any Pot of Dualities. The only card I would put in here over Pot of Duality, the only card I would replace for Pot of Duality is Primordial Soup. But I just like Primordial Soup personally, because you want your Evolsars in your deck and your Evoltiles in your hand. So, yeah. The 3 Diplos, you basically have 5 MSTs in this deck. Then Diplo's really good. 1600 beaters, not that bad. The 3 Elias and the Terius is only going to be summoned by Elias's effect. Or if you have nothing else to go for with a Westlow and you need just a monster. And Evolsaur Elias is really cool, because you just go Tribute Najasho for Terius, which I've had to do this before. I've had to Tribute Najasho for Terius, then summon Elias, and then use Elias's effects to summon something else from my hand. I don't remember what it was. But I didn't have any Evolsaurs in my graveyard at the time, so I couldn't have gone for Volcano, and it wouldn't have been good to go for anything else, because I wouldn't be able to Exceed Summon. So, Evolsar Elias is actually a really good card, even though most people don't run it. Then the triple Najasho goes to the triple Evo Force, just because it's basically an instant Exceed Summon. Because Najasho, when it's tributed, you special summon an Evolsar from your deck, and when Evo Force is activated, you tribute an Evoltile you control, and summon 1 Evolsar from your deck, and treat it as if it was summoned by an Evoltile's effect. So you basically get to summon 2 monsters from your deck, and treat them as if they were summoned by an Evoltile's effect. So you could summon out 2 Diplos, you could summon out a Diplo and a Cerato, and attack over one of their weak monsters, and add another Najasho or a Westlow. You could summon 2 Volcanos, and summon out the Cerato and the Diplo in your graveyard if you have them, and go for a Lagia and Dolka. There are tons of plays to be done with this card, and that's why I run 3 Volcano, just because late game Volcano is amazing. Of course, you've got your Evoltile Westlow. a nice 1900 wall that special summons monsters from your deck when you flip face up. Then got our obvious staples: Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, and MST. Pot of Avarice, just because this card is constantly cycling cards out of the deck, and the only things that bring back from the grave are Volcano. But once you've got all your Seratos in the grave and all your Diplos in the grave, and you're not drawing into these guys, I'd much rather have Pot of Avarice than some card that lets me cycle through cards in my deck. So, the 3 Evol Diversity, just because it's insane and it's like a Rhoda, so that's always really good. And, the 2 Primordial Soup, just because, like I said earlier, you want to get your Evol Stars out of your hand and your Evol Tiles into it. And then the 3 Fiendish Chain, just because this deck doesn't run effect fillers because it doesn't need tons of monsters. Fiendish Chain's a nice back row card that you basically just use to stun Rabbit or stun Inzektor players, so that when they summon the Dragonfly or they summon the Rabbit, then you stop them for a turn. And the Solemn Judgment, well, the whole brigade is just kind of self-explanatory. And then Starlight Road, just because I went against a guy like 4 times in a row, and every time he top decked Heavy Storm, not Monster Reborn. That wouldn't warrant a Starlight Road at all. But every time he top decked freaking Heavy Storm turn 1. So I would just like set 3, play a soup, and then like search out for my deck, and he'd be like Heavy Storm, and I'd be like, darn it. So that's what the Starlight Road is there for. Just because this deck has a lot of back row protection, just because it's played like a Rabbit deck, just with more monsters and with more variety to it. It's just not as fast, but the monsters can all still hold their own. Like, this is basically Sabersaurus on crack, and the plays are just a little bit better because you get to destroy stuff. They're just harder to do. And well, this is gonna be like my 3rd upload today. So I hope you liked the video. Comment on the video and tell me and give me your feedback on if you like this deck, if you don't like the deck. Make sure you go into DN yourself and test this deck out. Play it against other people. If you have Evols in real life, maybe you want to play with your friends, or just go around and do stuff. So until next time, YouTube, peace out.